Hello and welcome back to another vlog. Today we are taking a day trip out of Accra to Cape Coast. This trip is all about nature, history, and culture. We're not just staying at Cape Coast, we're taking a trip to Kakum National Park, to Cape Coast Castle, and then Elmina Castle. This was a really fun trip. As we were journeying to our first stop, we got to see some traditional Fanti towns. We also even passed through the capital of the Fanti Confederacy. The Fanti people occupy Central Region, which we're predominantly going to be visiting. And they are an Akan ethnic group, but they are not like the Ashantis. They can speak mutually intelligible languages, but they're their own separate group with their own separate culture and history. So after our little road trip, which took us about 3 hours, we got to Kakum National Park. And while we were waiting for our tour, we went back to the gate and there was a farmer who was selling some fresh kuku and some palm wine. If you don't know what kuku is, it is the fruit from which you get the seeds that you use to make chocolate. The fruit itself is edible. It tastes like soursop. If you're East Asian, you might have tried mangosteen. They taste very similar. Very delicious fruit. And we also got to try some palm wine. This was my first time trying traditional palm wine and I was absolutely hooked. I have more details on palm wine and kuku fruits. I have more details on palm wine and kuku fruits on my social media pages. I also uploaded a couple of shorts on YouTube, so make sure to check those out for more details. Now we are going to go back to our Kakum tour.
You don't know cocoa. This is cocoa plant. We get the pod from this plant. We intentionally plant this, for the chocolate, cocoa butter, for Milo, and so on. Is everyone here?
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue.
No, the black
Hope we are good to go. Okay.
Let me catch you.
The park is the forest. In Ghana, we have 7 national parks and also other reserves. We have Kakum National Park where you are. We have Mole National Park in the northern part of Ghana. We have Ankasa National Park, Chabobu National Park, Dija National Park, Bui National Park, and Bia National Park. You can visit any of them. There's the Kakum. We have Canopy added. We also have Poto. Have you heard about Poto? They are very strong animals. When they touch you, very difficult to leave your hand. Ghanaians, we call them apostle.
Yeah.
Apostle Ubeje. Ubeje means you leave it. Yes, they are very strong animals. We have them. We have porcupine as well, grass cutters, and so on and so forth. Now we are going to do the canopy walk, the last but not the least. At first, we're doing hiking, bird watching, researching, elephant tracking. And one man called Atolson, he was from Cape Coast. He has been to Peru, Costa Rica, Malaysia. So he brought the idea that we also got a better forest. Why don't we build the canopy walkway to attract more visitors, to generate income, and also to see the best layer of the forest? When we say the best layer of the forest, when you are doing bird watching and you do it under the forest walk, you are not going to see the bird very well. So in forests, we have 4 layers. Assuming you are dividing a tree into 4, that's what I mean. The first layer is where we are. We call it forest floor. The second layer is understory layer. The third layer is canopy layer. And the last layer, the top layer, is emergence layer. Because we built the canopy walkway at the level of canopy layer, that's why we name it canopy walkway. It was built in 1994 and commissioned 1995 by 2 Canadians from Vancouver. They are rock climbers, and 6 Ghanaians, they are tree climbers. It took 6 months for the construction, and every 6 months Ghanaians are here doing maintenance. Every morning they do check before we use. It's very, very safe because it's a hanging or suspension bridge in between trees. Nothing is holding the middle. It's from one tree to the other. The distance may be 25 meters to 35 meters long. So when you step on it, it will be swinging like this, wobbling. That doesn't mean you are going to fall. There's no way of falling. You have neck protecting, unless you try to jump off. You have a way up. Yes. The height is 11 meters above the forest floor to 40 meters. 11 to 40. The more you go, the higher it becomes. We also got a shortcut for cases like this who cannot do all. So at first the shortcut was 3. Now we made it 2. Instead of doing 3 today, some will do 2, some will do 7. But I hope we will all do 7 bridges, nice, which is 350 meters long, and it can weigh a maximum of 4 to 8 tons. That's 2 forest elephant weight on holidays and weekends. Those who have been here before, we are full from entrance to the exit. Nothing happens. Very, very safe. At the entrance, we say Akwaba, means you are welcome to Kakum National Park. At the end of the sign, when we descend the steep hill that we just climbed, you will see you survive. We surely survive the walk. Once again, I'm your guide, Naomi Ajua Kwachi. Any question you ask me, if you see something and you don't understand, let me know. Yeah, we are here to observe Kakum, to enjoy Kakum. So you are most welcome to Kakum National Park. Any questions so far? Almost to the Canopy walk. Almost there. People will know something is happening. That's the communication, because in the olden days there were no phones. Now when something happened to me, I use phone call. So they were using this tree. That is
So after our tour of the plants, the history of Kakum National Park, we continued to the canopy walk. It was 7 different canopies that we walked across, and boy was it scary. I did not get much filmed because I was just so concentrated on crossing the canopy walk, but it was definitely fun and I would totally recommend doing it even if you're scared of heights. After our very exhilarating canopy walk, we went to Cape Coast Castle. So Ghana has about 32 forts and castles. 3 of them are castles and the rest are forts or remnants of forts. I believe the Ghanaian coastline has one of the highest concentrations of European-built forts and castles in West Africa. And a lot of these forts and castles served various functions, but mainly they were trade posts, and when slavery was at its highest, they were basically dungeons for enslaved Africans. So Cape Coast Castle was built by the Swedish, but changed hands a couple of times and then landed in the hands of the British, who ended up expanding on it and fortifying it. Here, the British kept almost 400 to 500 enslaved Africans, all split up by gender. I've been to a number of slave dungeons and castles across Ghana, and the stories never get easy to hear. It is just a lot of stories of pain and suffering. These people did not deserve this type of treatment. They were human beings with lives, with families, with joys, with aspirations, and it was just so difficult to just hear that. I truly empathize with African descendants of enslaved Africans, where this is a part of their ancestral history, and it really does sadden me that their ancestors were subjected to such heinous treatment. If you go to Zanzibar, there's a cathedral, and underneath they also kept slaves too. And they had similar structures, but that one's for the Arab slaves. Yeah. But this is definitely bigger. Yeah.
Start from the first chamber. It passes to the middle of the other chambers, down into the sea. And the last chamber is naturally brighter than the other 4 because of this. I indicated that the captives were branded. They burnt marks on them. Branded iron, the name, initials, number of the company would be embossed on the iron. Something like JSS, John Smith Slave. The iron will be heated red hot. Palm oil will be applied at the forearm, the chest, the back. Between decks. Very difficult for them to even die. For about 6 to 8 weeks. So you can see conditions on the ships were even worse than the dungeons. There's more of this.
One little issue I do have is that I hope that the tour guides are better trained. There were a couple of points throughout our tour that I felt might not have been historically accurate. I also felt like there was some over sensationalizing of the history. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say. After our tour of Cape Coast Castle, we took a short drive to Elmina, which is actually known for the other castle in Ghana, Elmina Castle. However, the goal of this trip to Elmina was to learn about the people and their fishing culture. So I'll just let the tour play.
There are 3 structures here. 1, 2. The middle structure you can see here is for the dignitaries and the paramount chief. Okay. And the left and right are for the audience. So they sit there like how some people are sitting there now to observe the performance on the water here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, fine. On that day, all the canoes right from the bridge, the both side, all of them will move. The place will be open, very clear.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And the first people to come on the water and to perform, they are women. They will be in the digger canoes with their traditional dresses and traditional drum and singing their traditional song. And then they will be moving on the water, going up and down. Okay, that process, they call it regatta, to locate where they are on the sea. So it's the flag that gives them direction by the help of the wind.
Oh, okay.
The flag gives them direction by the help of the wind. In this way, you know, they understand that daytime, the wind will come from the sea to the land, daytime, which we call sea breeze. And in the evening time, the wind will blow from the land
To the sea.
which we call land breeze. Okay. So when they are on the sea, considering the time, which is daytime, then they follow the direction of where the flag is going to. That's land. Because as you see them going right now, they are traveling 5 hours. 5 hours journey in. So that 5 hours, they will not see the land again. And night will fall and the day will...
Obviously, I do not eat fish, but I really appreciated the opportunity to learn about the people of Elmina. And as mentioned, this is the Elmina Castle. It is very interesting that it's isolated on its own on the pier. I guess everyone probably does not want to go near it for the bad history that it was involved in. So after our tour, we went to grab something to eat. We had not eaten throughout the day. The usual for a vegan is to just get the plantain and beans. I do not mind plantain and beans. I genuinely enjoy it. So that was the conclusion of our Cape Coast road trip. The next video will be all about my trip to Kumasi. I am so excited to share my experience. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, give this video a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell. I will see you in my next video. Bye.